Now, I am a little younger than I look, right? I'm 34, right? Thank you. I can only hope that the microphones picked up the cackling woman's laugh of derision. You're not. You've been telling this story for a while. Yeah. I genuinely am 34. Let's put it this way. Have you ever seen the show Honey, We're Killing the Kids? Incredible show, right? They go around to the houses of parents who aren't very good at being parents, right? It's probably the discreet way of putting it, right? People who feed their kids lard and then wonder why they aren't getting up in the morning, right? And they bring them to a sealed room and they show them like a computer image of what the child will look like at the age of 40, right? And they go bing, and the boy always looks like me. Every week, they just put up a giant picture of my face. And the parents recoil in horror. The mother can't even look at it. The father shields her. Don't look, darling. You don't want to see your son like this. Who could live like that? And the BBC woman goes, I know, it's a horrific image. But surely he has to walk around with a bell shouting, unclean, unclean. It's the most irritating. Every week, bing, a big picture of me, right? Every week, this hideous future of the child, where the child is like, miserable and fat and bald. And then the parents go out feeling terrible, and then they give them a couple of carrots for about 3 weeks, and they go out on bicycle trips around the countryside, and they all have a much better lifestyle. And then they bring the parents back in again, and they do another, this is what your child will look like now. Bing! And suddenly the child is smiling at 40, is slim, and miraculously is not bald. Somehow, a couple of carrots have cured the child's genetic male pattern baldness. And every week the parents accept this. The bald father goes, oh, thank heavens, he's got his hair back. Never goes, whoa, wait a minute here. I'm bald, the fecker's going to be bald. There's nothing he can do about it. He's doomed to baldness. No amount of carrots and bicycle trips are good. Why don't you just make him Hispanic if you're going to feck around, right? If the whole point is just that, well, screw the science, let's just scare the shit out of the parents, why don't you just go bing and have the parents go, Jesus, where did you get the eye patch? And the gunshot wound. And is my daughter missing an ear? How did that happen? And the BBC woman will go, oh, she lost the ear in a fight with a bear in a bar in Minsk. You're a terrible parent. It's just one of these shows where they send around somebody to life coach people whose lives aren't going very, like Super Nanny, right? Where the Super Nanny walks in and goes to the child, now, you can't do that, and goes to the parent, listen to how the child is responding to the tone of my voice. And you go, no, it's not. It's responding to the fact that you're a big stranger in the house with a camera crew shouting at it. And the kids go, Jesus, who the fuck is this woman, right? Or that one on Channel 4, that hideous wench, that cow, McKeith. Are you familiar with You Are What You Eat, my friend? It's an incredible television show hosted by a whiny, naggy, bony seed pimp bitch. Who goes onto the homes of morbidly obese people, who we are introduced to in a slow-motion video package, where they are pictured walking across uneven ground or on a rope ladder of some description. Something hideously unflattering. And then Gillian, as their visual, shows them a table of all the food they've eaten in the last week. A table heaving, creaking, groaning under the weight of pies and curries and chips and beer. And Gillian points to the table and goes, look at it! Look at it! This is what you ate in the last week. And the fat person looks at it, and their face is a mixture of pride and lust. I said, did I eat all that? I did it all again. The best thing about learning to drive at 34 is, did you ever stall the Land Rover?
Yes.
Yes, he did. I presume nobody behind you went, "Bah." Nobody does that to a Land Rover here with RAF written across it. For Jesus, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Like, the door opens and they all go, 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 boom, and then jump onto it. When you learn to drive at 17, yes, it is embarrassing. When you stall the car the first time, like whatever, watch out for this, my young friend. It's mortifyingly embarrassing, right? Because you do think at 17, because, you know, you haven't been around the block, you think, Jesus, I am holding up the entire world at this stage. All traffic has halted because of me, and there's a helicopter floating above my head, radioing the news into radio stations going, well, it's all going very well, but one idiot has stalled the car. And there are pregnant women having children behind them who can't get to hospital, and it's a nightmare, right? At 17, you stall a car, somebody goes beep behind you, you panic, and you start pressing every button in the car, and turning things and moving things and stamping things, and the windscreen wipers are wildly going left and right, and the radio's coming on and off, and it's a nightmare. Not when you're 34. Second lesson, I stalled the car at the lights, didn't quite get the biting point, chug-a-chug car stopped. A guy in a BMW behind me, like a half a second later, just goes, "Bah!" really, really loudly and really rudely, right? If I was 17, I might have fallen apart. At 34, you have a bedrock of confidence that's built up over the years. I didn't panic. I calmly put on the handbrake, got out of the car, walked back to the man in the BMW and went, is there a problem here, champ, is there? And your man went, I was just thinking that you hadn't quite left from the lights. You're a lot bigger than I was expecting you to be at this point. Yeah, I am a lot bigger. And you're right, I haven't quite left from the lights with the kind of a greyhound out of a trap kind of speed that you were hoping for here. But let's have a look at the entire situation here. Are there any clues, perhaps, in what we see in front of us here as to why I might not have been as fast as other drivers? Take, for example, the giant pyramid of L's on top of the car. What do you think the L might stand for in this situation? Does it mean, warning, driver is lackadaisical and may need to be reminded of the urgency of your trip? Or does it mean, hey, the guy in this car is louche? I'm likely to be sitting there going, I do not like this green. Let us wait for another green. So satisfying to be able to do that. And then you think of all the other things that at 34 you'd love to go back. Any of those ridiculous run-ins you had as a 17-year-old, whether with your first boss or with people in your class, any time when you came out lesser and now you realize, geez, I didn't have to put up with that. Or women with the best will in the world, you're wonderful creatures. But Jesus, you scared the shit out of me at 17. I'd be in bed with a woman at 17 and if things would go wrong, I would panic. And I start pressing everything and moving things and shifting things around and the head's going wildly left and right. Not anymore. Now I just calmly pull out. I walk around. I go, is there a problem here, champ? Is there? He goes, yeah, I was just thinking, you're a lot smaller than I was expecting you today. Check the question again, lads. What is Moore's Law? Yes, it is. Computers get half the size or twice the speed or half the price every year and a half. It's the reason why the whole industry just gets faster and faster and faster. Like the iPod, for example, right? I have an iPod, it's 60 gigabytes in capacity. It'll take 1,500 albums. I own 90 albums. My iPod sits at home sullen and frustrated and underused. Like a wife who gave up her career and the kids turned out to be shite. They come up with stuff just to fill the machines. They have one called iPod Photo, which you go, you can put your music and your photos. As if anyone ever asked for that. As if anyone in history has ever gone, I've got a long train journey ahead of me. What I need now is some music and all of my holiday photographs of the last 9 years. Nonsense of the highest order. And it does have the technology belts along, like whatever, and it is bewildering for people. James, my young friend over here, you're across this stuff, because you're 16, you're 17. You know what, you're all about MP3s and all. You're across this stuff, aren't you?
Computer.
You don't have a computer? Oh. Now we're looking at the essays in a completely different light. James, like some sort of monk, just slowly, in long hands, writing out his German verbs on the table. Other kids, what are you doing, James? Get with the fucking program. You don't even have a computer. And you do you have an iPod or an MP3? Oh, James, get with the program. It's fantastic. Get with it now before it runs away too far from you, right? Because basically technology will and go. And when it goes, it never comes back. You basically run alongside technology for a part of your life and you're racing along and technology is striding. And you go, Jesus, technology, what are you today? And technology going on a phone you can carry all over the world. And you go, Jesus, that's brilliant. Now what are you? I'm a phone with a camera built into it. Jesus, that's great technology. Now what are you? I'm a phone with a camera and a Breville sandwich maker and a Clairol foot spa. And at some point, James, you just go, geez, I've got a fucking stitch. Go on, I can't keep up. It's harsh, it's tough, and every section of our life has a sudden splurge of technology all the time that we have to deal with. Even the car driving test that I did isn't fully preparing you for the fact that every car in 5 years' time will have a little talking box telling you what to do, right? Every car will have a sat-nav in the next 5-10 years, and we've got to be ready for that. I'm saying this from experience. I have a sat-nav not from one of the massive international companies, right? I have a really bad sat-nav from a company so bad they couldn't employ a professional voiceover artist to read out the phrases. They just got Terry from The Office to do it, right? In a really harsh East London accent. When my machine goes, turn right now, you turn right. You veer wildly across 3 lanes of traffic. You don't check your blind spot, you don't consult the mirrors, you just go for it. You don't want the machine to go, you miss a turn, you fucking muppet. And the damn thing can't find a satellite for the first 25 minutes of every journey. It's just a blank screen with cannot locate satellite. And you sit there screaming, look up! Look up for Jesus' sake! It's bound to be in the sky somewhere! Stop glancing around yourself going, Jesus, where did I leave the satellite? This is around here somewhere. Mary, check the table in the hall, I might have left it in there. Where is that satellite? You end up reaching forward and tilting the machine upwards, going, thanks, it's up there. All parts of technology, all parts of your life have some sort of new development that you're supposed to keep up with. But it's like the randomness of these national tags, or indeed of tagging the gay people, all that stuff, the sheer randomness of that, it's a bit like the ID card, and it sums you up in a couple of phrases, which it doesn't. No ID card truly contains the information that makes you unique. For me, it's the stuff that you love, you hate, you loathe, you're excited about. That's the stuff that defines you. I mean, I have no ID card, passport, driver's license, that will say that, for example, I'm a night person, right? I don't do daylight, I don't trust daylight, I don't like it. Many of you are day people, you're fine with it. Grand. If you're a day person, nighttime leaves you alone. But if you're a night person, daylight has no such qualms. Daylight will climb underneath the curtains, bounce off the carpet, off the ceiling, off the carpet, off the ceiling, into your feckin' eyes and wake you up. People who invite you into their house and expect you to take off your shoes. I can't stand that. Here's a bottle of wine. Oh, thank you for coming along. In this house, we take off our shoes. Oh, do you? In this house, I leave mine on. I'm not a mechanic. I don't work with livestock. I'm not going to trawl manure across your new carpet. I'm not going to step away from the dinner party, open a vein, and write my name in blood. All the way on your floor. This is going very well. Enjoy your dessert. It's a lovely dinner. Thank you very much. You're very kind. Just thought I'd leave me mark. Do you know I'd call an ambulance? I'm getting faint at this stage. Versus the things you love. For example, I love silence. I adore silence. And not kind of the Zen Buddhist, contemplative, desiderata go placidly midst the noise and haste silence. Not that stuff. The awkward silence between you and a stranger in a confined space. You know when you're in a lift with somebody you don't know and somebody has to say something? It's like a game of staring where you let the tension build and build and build and build and build, and then eventually they go, here we are, and you go, fine, I win, get out the fucking lift, I win. My favourite is when somebody in the lift arrives and they go, thanks very much, and you're going, why are you thanking me? The lift did all the work. I'm just standing here, I didn't operate a pulley system behind your back. Lifts are tremendous locations for social convention. Next time you walk into a lift and there are strangers there, don't walk into your normal place. Walk in, let the doors close behind you, and stand staring into the lift. They have no idea what to do in that situation. They're sitting there going, Jesus, what the hell is he doing? He's staring. Is he still looking? He's still looking at Alice, what are you doing? My favourite thing I ever did in a lift, I was in a lift once, on my own, and I had a bar along here, a bar there, and a bar there. I don't know if other men do this, right? If I'm in a situation where there's a railing about yay high, I'll automatically start lifting myself up off the ground. Because just for a second, I'm a Russian gymnast in the Olympics. And as they're going, look, the power, incredible, and then the legs come over, unbelievable, the power, amazing what he's doing here. I was lost in this little reverie when the lift arrived. So I dismounted to get the full marks. Just spring out of the corner, ping, ha-ha, just to get the full 10.0. So there's a woman with a child waiting, and all she hears is ding, and the door is open. And she just sees me going, oi! And she goes, oh my God. And I walked out and went, Jesus, that lift comes down fast. These are the things that define you. Your random loves and hates and dislikes. They define you as an individual, of course, and then you meet someone, you fall in love, and you've got to take your dislikes and her dislikes and loves and hates and slam them together and create your own mythology within the couple, which I love as a process. You meet couples, they have their own jokes, they have their own little language, they have their own story of how they got together, which is always some fantastically idealised version of the real event. Some sort of, oh, when we met, our eyes across the room, it was perfect, it was wonderful. Never, we were trashed. Key-eyed, smashed out of our boxes. And I'd recently been dumped by somebody I truly loved. I wanted to put a bit of a distance. So anyway, we had the shag in the car park and the pub. Oh, it's all gone wrong since then. Right. Never that. And all of the stages of life, again with the rules and the conventions. Like I've loads of friends, for example, who are having kids at the moment. I don't have any kids myself. Love that moment where you all go, I could if I wanted. It's all in perfect working order. I just haven't got round to doing it. Thank you very much. I know how it works. I was given a Ladybird book as a child, which was quite specific about. It had a little phrase I still remember to this day. When a man and a woman are married and in love and wish to have a child, they hug in a special way. Which is just sweet as a description. It does tend to paper over the whole handcuffs, who's your daddy element.